I thought I would try something new, as all the written stuff I post gets repetitive and annoying, and if I notice this, you all must have noticed this a long time ago. So as well as all the written stuff I post on the Telegram, I will also do a video, when I have the time to, for the people who don't want to read, or the people who just don't have time to read. Either way, I think it's a very good idea to have both formats just in case. That way it can target both audiences at the same time. Units of the Norse Group have inflicted losses on personnel and equipment on the 115th Mechanized Brigade, the 106th, 117th and the 125th Territorial Defence Brigade. Also today, the soldiers of the Russian Armed Forces crossed the Volga River in Volchansk, which may not sound impressive, but it is. I will also just like to say that Ukraine has sent its elite brigades to Volchansk to try and break the Russian foothold. Units of the Centre Group of Forces improved the tactical situation and even liberated Voshod in the DPR. Losses were inflicted to the 31st, 41st and the 47th Mechanized Brigades. The 109th, 129th Territorial Defence Brigades near Rozovka, Novgorodskoye and Novoslyovka, Pervaya and Toretsk in the DPR. 5 counterattacks were launched by the 31st, 32nd and 47th Mechanized Brigades, and all of these attacks were repelled by our guys. All of this information is from the Russian MOD, which does have footage to back up most of its claims, unlike other channels which just say made up numbers with zero evidence. Everything is subjective at the end of the day, and make up your own decisions with the evidence that you find. The Vostok Group inflicted losses on personnel and equipment of the 58th Motorized Infantry Brigade and the 110th Territorial Defence Brigade near Prechistovka, Rozhenoye in the DPR and Gulepol in the Zaporozhye region. The Zapad Group inflicted losses on the 14th, 44th and 116th Mechanized Brigades and the 1st National Guard Brigade near Sinkovka, which I also have footage on my channel of the 16th Special Forces Brigade who are in Sinkovka doing good work. I'm sorry that the numbers of losses are just flying by, but I only have so much time before I need to go on to the next group, as there is a lot of groups of forces inside of the Russian Armed Forces. The Yug Group inflicted losses on the 24th and 72nd Mechanized Brigades, the 46th Air Mobile Brigade and the 79th Air Assault Brigade in the region of Chasiv Yar, which is a hotspot at the moment as the Russian Airborne recently raised their flag in the Micro-District Canal. I do find it kind of funny how both sides have sent their airborne there. I guess we'll just have to see which airborne is better, Russian or Ukrainian, but obviously Russian airborne is way better than Ukrainian airborne. The Dnieper Group inflicted losses on the 141st Infantry Brigade and the 128th Mountain Brigade. The Dnieper River has almost been forgotten about by most people since the Russian command issued the order to retreat from Kherson, but battles have been fought there quite regularly. It does mainly involve Ukrainian special forces in speedboats that try to land on the Russian side of the Dnieper, and it usually ends in a Russian drone dropping grenades on them, or Russian special forces just ambushing them. For a short period, Ukraine did manage to hold the marshland in the middle of the Dnieper. It is now out of the Ukrainians' hands, as you can see in the picture from Deep State UA, which actually has a contract with the Ukrainian military. Even if they're admitting that Ukraine has lost it, then it must be so, as they say. Again, last night more missiles were launched towards Kiev. You may not have seen it in the mainstream media, but for the past 2 months, Kiev and the west of Ukraine, like Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk, have been getting hammered with strikes, which have knocked out electricity in some parts, and Ukrainians that have had no power for more than a week have even taken to the streets to protest. A few hours after this video, the crew of this Ka-52 attack helicopter would die. They died in the liberation of Lugansk, working alongside the Wagner PMC. On July 12, 2022, during a combat mission, the crew commander, Major Igor Sergeyevich Sareyev, and the navigator, Major Askar Kamilevich Robotinov, died. And 2 years later, this is all the wreckage that has been found of the Ka-52 attack helicopter. A convoy carrying vehicles of the Russian armed forces has been spotted heading towards the front. I'm not sure what section of the front it's heading to, but as the video shows, it's heading to the front. Sweden, in agreement with Kiev, will not supply the JAS-39 Gripen fighters to Ukraine, whilst the F-16 supply program is in effect. This was stated by the country's foreign minister, Tobias Billström. This decision was made because Ukraine came to the conclusion that the use of two air fighter systems at the same time, both the F-16 and Gripen, was too much, he said. But my source says something different. The information I have says Zelensky refused to supply these aircrafts for a number of reasons. Reason number one. In Europe, the vast majority of countries either already have F-16s or are about to appear. Europe lives in a world of NATO standards. The base sites for equipment in aviation are prepared for the placement and maintenance, as well as, if repairs are necessary, of mass-produced types of equipment and aviation, including the F-16. Therefore, in terms of repair and maintenance, the F-16 is more profitable. Reason number two. In addition, this decision was made due to the fact that Ukraine came to the conclusion that it was too difficult to have two fighter systems at the same time, both the F-16 and the JAS-39. Ukraine does not have enough people, as well as time to train specialists. But nevertheless, all of the above does not change the fact that Sweden is open to the transfer of aircraft in case of difficulties with the transfer of the F-16. Ukraine can still turn to Sweden's help. Canada is supplying $367 million in an aid package, and Trudeau will announce this at the upcoming NATO summit in Washington. Also, the Netherlands is also supplying 20 million euros in aid to purchase 1 million FPV drones for Ukraine to use as they please. 3 foreign citizens from European countries were detained at the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The incident occurred on July 9th. All the circumstances of the incident are being clarified, as well as the purpose of the penetration. The citizens from the Netherlands and Belgium into the territory of the Cosmodrome. That pretty much sums up all the news I've got for you today. Thank you for watching and subscribe. And if you want to continue to hear the truth about Russia and not what the mainstream media tells you, all of the footage in this video is available on my Telegram, as I can't show the not safe for work content on YouTube, but it's all on my Telegram, so check it out.